with your OC, right? He's also the quarterbacks coach, correct? I've been doing my homework a little bit, brother.
Yeah,
A little bit,
he's
brother.
he's a
He's
QB
also a
coach.
QB coach too, right?
Yeah,
Right. So I think that he's gonna play right into Cam Ward's strength. And having a monster like Damian Martinez and man, just a hell of a playmaker. I have to say that. And Xavier Restrepo, man, he is just he may be the Nate, like, I don't know, preseason wise. I want to see him on the field, but look, I mean, I just see so much film on Restrepo, man, and I really like the cat, man. He is just a playmaker. Do you hear me? Raw High, what up, Raw? What up, Raw? Raw High joining us and all that. Say what's up. Um, and like he just makes plays, bro, like none other in the country, bro. He does. And I think him and Cam Ward should have a hell of a time hooking up pause with the passing game. And Damian Martinez should be opening up. And I don't think nobody should be able to play on the field with y'all. If anything, I think that Miami should definitely be scoring over. Y'all should be averaging 35 points a game, right? Because I mean, you gotta, in order to be at 11-1 team, let's just call it what it is. You would say that they have to 35, and you saying playing the strengths QB. I mean, look, this is based off of my opinion because we really don't know what y'all strengths are this season. Let's just call it what it is, right?
yeah,
Let's
we
just
don't.
be honest. We don't know what
Yeah,
y'all strengths are this
yeah,
season.
yeah, we don't. Yeah,
So when I'm speaking on that, that's just my opinion of what I'm thinking that it is, right? What your strengths
yeah,
are. It's just my
yeah,
thoughts, me speculating on what your strengths might be this season. Let me clarify that because I'm still learning. You gotta use words out here, right? So Damian
yeah.
Martinez was one of the best rushers in the Pac-12 last year, carrying the rock for Oregon State, coming down to Miami behind Miami and y'all offensive line. Y'all patch some pieces there. I like Carpenter, Zach Carpenter coming from Indiana. I thought Zach Carpenter was one of the better offensive linemen on that Indiana Hoosier team. Y'all wound up grabbing that guy up. I think that he's going to be a well fit there down in Miami. I think he's going to fit in well, but we'll see. We really don't know, right? So yes, there is a question mark there, but Xavier Restrepo, Cam Ward. I mean, it's right there. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. Because I really don't know about, you know what I'm saying, what's going to happen in that. So I had to explain that a little bit. You feel me? But man, so y'all got to score 35 or more points a game to be one of the top dogs.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. 35 or more.
He said, Will Restrepo lead block for Martinez? Shad knows the joke.
Of
Well, I
course
should
he
know the
do.
joke too. If you're gonna come on the fans' point of view, you can't come on the fans' point of view, just throw out shit and we don't know the shit. No,
Of
but
course.
what's the joke though, Chad? Fill me in, bro.
Xavier Strepo is a lead blocker in our offense when he goes in motion.
Yeah,
That's one of the staples of our offense.
yeah, yeah.
So
He's a hell of a playmaker, hell of a receiver, man. I've looked at him in depth, bro, in depth, all his traits, everything. Like, there's not nothing that's not keeping him from the top receivers in the country conversation. Nothing that I've seen anyway. As far as I looked at it now, and and as far as and I ain't just going. That's not opinion. This is like it's more like facts because you got to look at the receiver traits. Like, what traits does a receiver have? Looking at every single trait, I think Restrepo checks the boxes and on run blocking, and which a lot of other guys don't do well. And I think he does well. So yeah, man. Miami, I think Miami should beat the Florida Gators, man. I think it'll be a good game, but I do think Miami should pull this off if they want to continue. But if they don't, well, oh well, still got a chance. It's not a conference game, so
exactly,
still
it's
can
not
run
a
the table.
conference game. Everything that we seek to want to accomplish during the season is still on the table.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Clemson and Georgia Bulldogs, man. Clemson and the Georgia
Ooh.
Bulldogs. Kirby, Dabo versus Kirby, Kirby versus Dabo. Like, man, man. the implications for this game right now, and from what we seeing, does Clemson stand a chance to beat the Georgia Bulldogs? Are we saying this? Are we really saying this and thinking? I mean, oh man, I think I will say this right. This is still speculating because we haven't really seen offense, but I will say this: this game means so much for the ACC. It's not even crazy, bro. It's not even crazy. I will say that. And what do I mean by that? The ACC, if Clemson does not win this game, let's say Clemson does not win this game, but they lose it by 3 a field goal. I think it still says a lot for the ACC and what they're going to bring because Clemson is supposed to be one of the top teams in the ACC. And right now, they're above Florida State because Florida State just took an L to Georgia Tech. Let's call it what it is, right? But also getting out there and making this step. If they could pull this win out, the ACC now is on notice. They're like, okay, they balling out there. They know what they're doing out there. Week 1, week 0. I don't really care too much about all that. And how that may go and how much people may think. But look, I'm still a college football newborn out here. So who cares a fuck what I'm talking about? Really, right? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But still, like, that's just what I believe. Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna ride with that. But what do you think, bro, about this Clemson and Georgia game? Right.
Man, last time these two played, the game was decided by a pick six threw by DJU. A very low scoring game. I think the final score may have been like 9-6 or something like that. Like some crazy. Like it was a very low scoring affair. Um, Clemson has they've made some adjustments. They brought in Matt Luke, which is one of the premier offensive line coaches in the country. Um, Defense is still good. Still have some good pieces on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest thing that they're gonna have to, get situated is their quarterback situation, right? And the thing about it is that Carson Beck, while he's garnering a lot of, adulation, a lot of praise and things like that, the thing about a 1 year starter, that year that they do start, what you
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to do as a staff that's in opposition is you get to see, okay, this is what he was able to get away with. These are some of the tendencies that he has, whether they're good tendencies or bad tendencies, and you can adjust to them accordingly. So it's going to be about Carson Beck taking that next particular step, or is he going to revert back to being a Jake Fromm, which is a guy that's not necessarily going to win you a game, but they're not going to necessarily lose you a game.
Uh-huh.
And with such high stakes going on right now, I do think that both teams have to be in a situation where their quarterback is going to have to be the one that makes two, maybe three plays that put them in position to actually pull this game out. So, like I said, we've talked about Georgia before. They have some question marks um,
We're
in
at
terms of just some inexperience.
Georgia. We're
Um,
at what position you talking about?
well,
Because
well,
I thought they
at the
brought back
at the
most of their team.
well at the linebacker position, we're just talking
Okay.
about inexperience, not
Okay.
necessarily talent.
Okay.
Some inexperience along the defensive line. I mean the linebacker position, having to replace a Brock Bowers, which was a lot of their which he didn't play the entire season last year. He underwent an injury. So it's going to be interesting. They just kick Ra Thomas off the team. So
Mm-hmm.
and Georgia, and this is another thing for Georgia. Georgia has a lot of outside noise going on, right? You got the Trevor Etienne situation, you got the Ra Thomas situation.
Mm.
You have I think it's the Atlanta Gazette or Atlanta Post Journal, whichever
Mm.
one of the major newspapers in Atlanta that is just publicizing these particular stories. The whole Georgia players not graduating. So there's a lot of outside noise that Kirby Smart is going to have to navigate through. And I said this on another show. I said this year is going to show me whether or not Kirby Smart is Urban Meyer or
Mm-hmm.
if he's Nick Saban. And what I mean by that is when the pressure got to its highest,